Welcome to my tips for round 24, where we had a bit of a shocker in round 23. Out of the three tips we had, only one of them won at $1.48. So we had the Raiders there winning us 480, but the Sharks and Dolphins couldn't get the job done, and we lost $2,000 there. So not great. Pretty much down, what, 16, $1,520. Which takes our total tips now to 33 with 26 winners. The profit loss now is still up over 5,500, but we were up over the 7,000 before, so it would be nice to get back to that in the next few rounds before the season finishes off. But overall, the season's been pretty good, still up over 5,500. Just got to get a few more wins to look pretty good for the whole season. So looking at last round, pretty much everything had a shocker. The Storm versus Brisbane game, Brisbane had some injuries early on, the first 10, 15 minutes. As soon as their three players were gone with injuries, especially Reynolds and Carbo being injured, we pretty much had no hope in that game. Storm went on to win that one. The Knights and Panthers easily did that one for a win there. The Raiders and Seagulls. The Raiders, again, easily got the win there over the Seagulls. The Dragons versus Sharks was a close game, but the Dragons did edge out the Sharks there with us getting that tip wrong. The Dolphins and Roosters. The Roosters came out and had a blinder, 60 plus points put on the Dolphins. Just no defense there at all. So didn't get that tip either. The ratings have been getting the Dolphins wrong the last few weeks, so it'll be interesting to see where they land this week. The Bulldogs versus Warriors, it correctly tipped the Bulldogs. The Titans versus Rabbitohs, it had the Titans at home, but the Rabbits did pretty good there. And the Eels versus Cowboys, the Eels ended up winning in a very close one there. So we only got 3 out of the 5, not great. But let's jump into round 24 and see if we can improve this week. So, round 24. We've got the Panthers versus Storm to start off with. The ratings don't like the Storm lately, so it has put the Panthers in there at about a 10-point margin. Odds are $1.90. The Warriors versus the Dragons. It's taken the Dragons again. The Warriors haven't been playing that great. So it's taken the Dragons by 10, which is an upset at odds of $2.46. The Warriors do play better at home though, so just be a bit wary of that tip for the upset there. The Roosters versus the Bulldogs. We have gone the Bulldogs here. The Roosters did put in a really good game last week. Bulldogs are still favourite though, and Bulldogs really need to show a bit of fight as they go into the finals. So we've got Bulldogs there by 4 points. They are $1.70 and favourites. Sharks versus Titans. I've gone the Sharks at home by 12 points. Will be interesting to see how they bounce back after their loss last week. They are $1.32. The Broncos versus Dolphins. The Broncos here are the tip. The ratings don't really look at the quality of player which is out, unfortunately. So I'd be very wary of this tip here with an 8-point predicted margin. They are favourites though at $1.71. So the market does align with the Broncos still being favourites here, but given the injuries from last week, I'd be a bit wary of that game. Rabbits versus Eels. It's gone the Eels here in a very tight one by 2 points. Eels are favourites at $1.68. The Tigers versus Eagles. We've got the Tigers here at home in a big upset here at $2.60. It's the biggest odds there that we have for the round. We've got them winning by only 4 points. Seagulls have been a bit hit and miss this year, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Tigers could get up and win this game. The Cowboys versus the Knights. We have the Cowboys there at home. They are favourites. Knights have had a terrible year. Don't expect Knights to do much for the rest of the season. I think they've checked out. $1.48 is the odds, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Now, what do we have for bets? We pretty much only have the Sharks there at home at $1.32, so it'll be interesting to see if we can get that. Be a bit disappointing if we lose that one again and we're down under the $5,000 mark. But I think the Sharks are pretty strong here. They're heavy favourites. They are at home. They lost last week in a game that they should have won. So I expect them to bounce back here, and we should end up with $320 profit, pushing us back up above the $6,000 in profits for the season. So let's see how it goes. Good luck if you're having a bet. For those that are looking for other bets to take, AFL bets are still doing quite well. It had a bit of a shocker last week as well, with quite a few of the top teams going down to the bottom teams. But overall, it's still producing a fairly good profit. And the cricket bets are in a very good profit now, given some of the upsets went our way, and we are looking fairly good there. So check those videos out if you're looking for something else to bet on, and looking to make a profit. As always, tips can go wrong, bets can go wrong. It's never 100%. We're looking for the odds that allow us to make a long-term profit, which I've shown this year across cricket, AFL, and NRL. NRL. I may pick up some of the American sports over the summer as well if I can, but we are going into spring racing where there's some great races on there, and it is where I make most of my money. So I'll put up some tips for the big racing at the carnival. Okay, so thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, subscribe so you can see all those videos. Otherwise, good luck and thanks for watching.